Hi, everybody. Welcome to the training videos for YOOZ, which is the expense reporting and reimbursement program used at Aimbridge Hospitality. You've already been a registered user. You've gotten your login. You have gotten this web page screen. One simple thing about it: if you ever forget your password, just use the forgotten password tab here, or a link here. It is simple. It'll send you an email, which will actually have another link to another email to get you in. Just follow the directions and you will reset your password. You don't have to worry about YOOZ ever wanting to have you change it, because since we don't keep any real sensitive material in YOOZ itself, we have no requirements to change passwords every so often. All right, so once you get in, let me connect, and we will go from here. I have to get Flash because I'm using Chrome. Give me just a moment to have the screen come up. Everybody will have the same basic home screen. You'll get a welcoming message, how many documents you have. One of the things to note, YOOZ uses its own internal directional movement icons and links and things of that nature. So if you ever try to go back, do not use web-based directionals, because you'll log you out of the system. Always use the internal controls. We have a basic screen here. On the left side, as noted, it says My Documents. These are the ones that you are working on. I'm an approver, a third level approver, an administrator, and so these are my documents because they have come to me through the process. Whenever you're working on submitting expense reports, and if you save it in pending mode and go out and then come back in, you'll see it over here. This side is where things are in the process. I have seen every single one of these and have rejected them for whatever reason. And so the problem is I see them because I have rejected them. But once you send yours to your approver, it will leave this side of the screen and make its way over here. And you will see, like here, Mr. Capps is with Mr. Moundis at this point, or Scott's is with Ben. And as it moves up the system, as it moves from one approver to another, as it goes through, you will see the name change. Ultimately, when it leaves YOOZ, and remember, YOOZ is only a data gathering program. We do not pay from YOOZ. We pay from a program called JDE. But when our last approver looks things over to make sure things are correct, and he or she approves it, that night YOOZ sends a file to our payment program, JD Edwards. And so that next morning, you would have seen your expense report over here. It'll be gone, which means it's left YOOZ. Now, it does not mean it's paid automatically. Payments take place a little bit later, and I'll talk about that in another segment. But again, you're working on it. You sent it on. You watch it through the progress. When it leaves this side of the screen, YOOZ has sent it on to JD Edwards for the final payment portion. We really do not do anything up here anymore. We don't search up in here. We don't worry about my companies because of some changes we've made in our accounting system and our banking programs. The only little item that you can play with up here is that what some people will call chasing arrows. This is the refresh button. Everybody will also have certain buttons down here. You will have an import button, which we will go over in the next segment of our tapes. You will probably not have export and settings because those are for administrators. You will have my profile, in which you will click. You can always change your password here if you want to. For people who ultimately become an approver, you can do delegations. And I'll just speak to this now, and I'll speak to it again down the road. If for some reason you're going to be on vacation and you approve people's expense reports, you can have somebody else do it for you. It just so happens that today I had Nolan do some stuff for me because I was real busy, and so he could see my left side of the screen, and he can do approvals for me. You set these. You can set the delegate. It will automatically start and stop when you set it, so you don't have to remember to go in. They go and do it, and you always want to make sure and use that you save whatever you do, okay? So most of you will have my password and my delegation in order to work with. Now, again, remembering that we don't use web-based directional cues, I'm going to hit the back button to come back into my main screen again. Support. Do not contact. YOOZ directly. I, Lynn Neal, currently am your contact for YOOZ support. I think if you click in there, I think it's even got my name and my phone number here at the corporate offices. Come to me first. I can handle about 95%. If worse comes to worse, I will contact YOOZ directly to solve said problem. Again, just come to me, and remembering that you should have seen it when I sent your initial setup email, that we have more than one person working in YOOZ, so I beg you to please communicate to us at the corporate office at YOOZ@aimhosp.com. That's YOOZ@aimhosp.com. Use that mailbox. I and one other person at least monitor it. We will get to your questions, and we will get back to you. Everybody does have a search button here, and in the next segment of our training videos, we will deal with how to effectively use search, because it is a pretty good little tool to have, and a lot of people overlook it. And so join me on the next set of videos for searching in YOOZ.